Okay, good evening,
Yes.
everyone, and thank you for attending this evening's board meeting. CMHA is holding its monthly board meeting virtually via webcam and teleconferencing on Tuesday, April 28, 2020, as approved through Ohio's novel coronavirus response bill, which directly affects how local governments throughout the state operate in conducting public business. These sweeping changes were approved Thursday, March 27, 2020. This provision sunsets when the governor withdraws the state of emergency or December 1st, 2020, whichever is sooner. This is the contemporaneous meeting for instrumentalities that do not have any new business or matters requiring deliberation. The meeting of the following instrumentalities: Laurel Homes 1, Lincoln View Incorporated, Reserve on South Martin, Southwest Ohio Housing Development Incorporated, Cary Crossing Development Corporation, West Union Square Development Corporation, Sutter View Development Corporation, Park Eden Evanston LLC, and Park Eden Apartments are hereby called to order. Roll call for attendance. Ms. Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Weedman.
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum. Commissioners, have you reviewed the March 31st, 2020 minutes for these instrumentalities? And if so, are there any corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes. There's no new business for these instrumentalities, so may I have a motion? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The meeting is adjourned. Okay. And moving on to the next instrumentality, this is the regular meeting of Touchdown Property Services Incorporated for Tuesday, April 28, 2020. The meeting is called to order. Roll call for attendance. Ms. Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Weedman.
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
The chair is present. We have a quorum. Item 3 is approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes. Item 4 is discussion of recommendations. Resolution 097 to approve bad debt write-off for first quarter 2020 for Touchdown Property Services.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any questions?
Quick question. Just how does this compare to last quarter?
Rima?
Okay, I'm sorry, the overall financials, or are you talking specifically about the bad
Just
debt?
the bad debt write-off.
So the bad debt, unfortunately, for this quarter, or for this the month of March, is at $12,130.68 compared to a prior month. The last few months we haven't had any. We had a few tenants that have, whether they vacated or skipped, they defaulted on RPAs, which is our repayment agreement. And unfortunately, we have one tenant out of 5 that make up the majority of the balance, unfortunately, is in jail right now. So we do have a higher amount this month as compared to previous months.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to just get an understanding, particularly in these times and this nature. I mean, I feel that you guys are doing a fantastic job and trying to mitigate these circumstances, but just from a educational standpoint. Thank you, Rima. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Rima,
Yes,
let's
sir.
see. If I'm trying to figure out if our forbearance is playing into any of these numbers. Do we have to write off a delinquency even though we're not pursuing non-payment of rent for financial hardship reasons?
These are previous months, Mr. Miles.
Okay.
So the situation we're in now, we haven't seen that yet. We'll see that in a few more months.
Okay. So let's just advance a few more months to the place where this time will show up. How will we do that accounting? Will we write off balances or tenant balances of bad debt, even though we've been in forbearance with them through HUD's guidance?
So what we have to do, continue doing, is unfortunately keep recording the non-payment of rent all the way through July 24th to be specific. After that, at that point in time, we're able to take any legal action that we need, that we deem necessary. And if tenants move between now and July, if they've left a delinquent balance, we are allowed to write that off. So you might see some in the next few months. We're just not allowed to take any legal action, no evictions until July.
But Rima,
Okay.
Yes.
So that doesn't relieve them of their obligation. It only relieves them from being evicted, correct?
That's correct.
They still have that financial obligation. It just, even though it just gets shifted to
A later
after
date.
July.
Right. You're absolutely correct. The only thing we aren't allowed to do from March 27th through July 24th is we can't charge any interest or penalties on top of the non-payment of the rent. But that is not forgiven, after July 24th. If there's a remaining delinquent balance, then we're allowed to move forward with whatever we need to recapture the tenant rental income.
The question really goes to the write-off may be in part explained because of our forbearance in this time to account for job losses and loss of income due to CP. It shouldn't reflect on staff as if staff has made a lesser effort if we see some kind of spike in this number. I understand that this report does not include the period commencing the CV. Okay, any other questions on that? All right, hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Resolution 098 to approve March 2020 financial statements for Touchstone Property Services.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Excuse me. Resolution 099, authorizing Touchstone Property Services Incorporated to enter into a property management agreement and associated documents with Pinecrest RAD LLC in conjunction with the redevelopment of Pinecrest Apartments. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. And if there's no other business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn the Touchstone? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. The Touchstone Property Services Incorporated meeting is closed. And now moving to the next instrumentality, This is the regular meeting of Pinecrest Rad Development Corporation for Tuesday, April 28, 2020. The meeting is called to order. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Weedman.
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum. Item 3 is approval of minutes for
Motion.
March. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any corrections? Hearing none. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes. Item 4 is discussion of recommendations. And there we have resolution 003, authorizing the Pinecrest Rad Development Corporation to execute any and all documents or take any other action that is necessary or desirable to 1, facilitate the redevelopment of Pinecrest, 2, cause Pinecrest Rad Development Corporation to execute an amended and restated operating agreement of Pinecrest Rad LLC, 3, cause Pinecrest Rad LLC to enter into development financing for the project, and 4, cause Pinecrest Rad Development Corporation and/or Pinecrest Rad LLC to execute any such further documentation. Is there a motion to
Motion
accept?
to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call. Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. And may I have a motion to adjourn the touchdown
Motion to
conference?
adjourn.
Thank you. Second. Thank you. Roll call. Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The meeting for Pinecrest Rad Development Corporation is adjourned. Again, good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending this evening's regular board meeting of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority for Tuesday, April 28, 2020. The meeting is now called to order. Roll call for attendance, Ms. Mitchell,
Present.
Mr. Weedman,
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
The chair is present. We have a quorum. Item 3 is approval of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the motion passes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the annual plan hearing meeting?
So
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion passes. I'm impressed with the enthusiasm so far. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the regular board meeting held on March 31st, 2020?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Thanks. Any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes. Item 4 on our agenda is presentations. We have none this month. Item 5 on our agenda is public comments. We do not have any requests to speak this month. Item 6 is the J. Rab Ross grant update. There is no J. Rab Ross grant report this month. Item 7 is discussion of secretary recommendations. Item 7A in the financial report is as resolution 5387 approving the bad debt write-off for March of 2020. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. Any questions or discussions from board members? Or Rima, do you feel obliged to offer anything up?
I can certainly tell you in a brief summary that we had about $6,815.86 write-offs for the month of March. And we're averaging about close to 28,000 per month for the write-offs. And moving into just the brief financial report, management services reflecting a net income of $659 on a year-to-date basis. The consolidated asset management is showing a slight loss of $97,000 for the 9 months ending March 31st. And the Housing Choice Voucher Program is reflecting $363,000 of net income on a year-to-date basis.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now resolution 5388 to approve fiscal year 2020 March financial statements for the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, we'll have roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Item 7B is a request for approval to solicit bids for the following items. As Resolution 5389, providing authorization to proceed with the request for proposals and solicitations for general goods and services from outside vendors. One is solicitation 2020-3006, President Facade Repair, pre-RAT. 2 is solicitation 2020-1006, Fire Safety Plan and Monitoring. 3 is solicitation 2020-1007, Preventative Maintenance Plan Review and Update.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, what's the President facade repair?
Yeah. It's quite expensive.
So, if you would let me, there is mortar joints that are beginning to fail at the President. Parapet caps are bad. President, if you've seen the building, has those stainless steel awnings.
Yep.
Some of those are starting to pull away. There is expansion in some of the bricks, so typically you have this nice, clean vertical surface, but you start to have this bow in the brick. All of that needs to be repaired.
So
It's on all sides of the building.
Do we have an estimate on that? What the costs are going to be?
We have a budget for that in our capital grants, so we do have a line item for it.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yes.
And that amount is 800,000, Joe?
Yes, that's our estimate.
And that seems like a tidy number. Is there a fudge factor built in, added on to get to a nice even number like 800?
Well, we put the 800 in there, but we're right around 790,000.
Oh, okay.
So remember, we have a report that showed us all of the different areas where the repair needs to be done. We've done similar things, not this expensively, at Stanley Row. We have a minor repair at Marquette Manor, but the President has seen other issues in previous years where at one time we did have part of that facade fall, and we had to put up safety nets and do an emergency repair. That's on the Reading side. And we want to get ahead of this one. We don't want to wait for it. And it's not something that can wait for the RAD conversion.
Okay. But it'll be something that doesn't have to be figured into the RAD conversion.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's a beautiful building. It's really a marquee kind of a building in our portfolio, wouldn't you say?
It's one of my favorite buildings, both the interior lobby and first floor areas, but the architect throughout the building and the exterior. It is a beautiful building.
Yeah. Tom, do you have any more questions?
I don't.
Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions, then we'll proceed to the roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Ms. Harris. I'm sorry, Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Item 7C is resolution to award contract renewals. Resolution 5390, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign a one-year contract extension option for contract 2018-3009-01, public housing conversion consultant with 2RW Consultants Incorporated, CSG Advisors Incorporated, CBR Associates Incorporated, Dominion Environmental Group Incorporated, DBA Dominion Due Diligence Group, Hawkins, Delafield and Wood LLC, and Recap Advisors, and not to exceed amounts of $200,000 annually for maximum 5-year contracts paid for by management services funds and capital grant funds.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Next, we have Resolution 5391, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign a one-year contract extension option for contract 2018-7003, year-end and pre-audit readiness services with Rubino and Company, chartered, and a not-to-exceed amount of $40,000 annually for a maximum 5-year contract paid for by management services funds.
Motion to approve.
Thanks.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Resolution 5392, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign a one-year contract extension option for contract 2019-7003 for general legal services with Adams, Stepner, Walterman, and Dusing, PLLC, Bricker and Eckler, LLP, Coors and Bassett, LLC, Dressman, Benzinger, Lavelle, PSC, Fenny Law Firm, LLC, Graydon, Head and Ritchie, LLP, Heiss and Winstrip Company, LPA, Manley Burke, a legal professional association, Rendigs, Fry, Kiley, and Dennis, LLP, Strauss Troy Company, LPA, Wood and Lamping, on an as-needed basis not to exceed $200,000 per firm annually for a maximum 5-year contract and not to exceed the budgeted amount paid for by operational funds, administrative fees, management services, and development fees.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, are all these firms firms that solicited us to do business, or do we make that decision? I mean, I'm noticing that there's a couple of pretty prominent firms in town that are not on this list. I'm just curious how this list got put together.
The firms that are on this list responded to solicitation, a request for proposal.
Okay.
And they were evaluated. I believe this is the second year of the 5-year contract. So these firms really would like to do business with CMHA.
Okay.
And included in the pool are a number of notable firms. So we feel confident that we have the pool large enough to encompass everything that we're likely to need in outside legal counsel.
Good. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now 5393, a resolution authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign a one-year contract extension option for contract 2019-1010 for electrical services with Sensi Electrical Solutions LLC, Seco Electric Company Incorporated, and True Construction Services LLC on an as-needed basis not to exceed $100,000 per contractor annually for a maximum 5-year contract and not to exceed the budgeted amount paid for by operational funds, administrative fees, management services, and development funds.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Okay. Item 7D is adopt a resolution to award the following construction contracts. As Resolution 5394, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to enter into a contract for solicitation 2020-3003. Marquette Manor facade repair for the amount of $118,770, paid for by capital funds or emergency capital fund grant. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Item 7E is adopt a resolution general. Resolution 5395, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to enter into contracts for solicitation 2020-1002. Work order services with Elise T. Kogar, DBA Kogar Enterprises, LLC, the Stone Street Group, LLC, GLT Renovations, LLC, A1 Quality Home Improvement and Roofing, LLC, Crosty Renovation Services, LLC, Thomas Rehabbing, LLC, Ultimate Professionals, LLC, Trust Us Transportation, LLC, DBA Trust Us Maintenance and Janitorial, Triton Services Incorporated, Chase Construction and Development Group, LLC, A Fist of Contractors, LLC, Finesse Services, LLC, Diamond Professional Contractors, LLC, Colossal Janitorial, LLC, Just Right Construction and Lawn Care Service, Gwendolyn Hunter, a DBA KG Construction, LLC, Seco Electric Company, Incorporated, Howard Edwards Contractors, LLC, Dominion Real Estate Consulting, Priority Services of Ohio, LLC, JTL Electric Incorporated, TNR Cleaning Technicians, LLC, and True Construction Services, LLC, in not to exceed amounts of $300,000 annually per contractor for maximum 5-year contracts paid for by operating funds.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mr. Weedman?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now, Resolution 5396, authorizing the CMHA to take such actions necessary or convenient to 1, facilitate the redevelopment of Pinecrest, and 2, provide development financing to Pinecrest RAD LLC for the project.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I have one correction to the motion. If the resolution, I think you almost said it, give authorization to the CEO.
Okay.
To take such action.
Okay, so let me ask if there are no other questions that we vote on the resolution with that amendment. That is, resolution authorizing the CEO of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority to as follows.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Okay, make a motion to amend.
Okay, a second? Thank you. Any questions on the amended motion? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now, Resolution 5397, adopting the 2021 through 2024 strategic plan of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Resolution 5398, conferring authority to the CEO to negotiate and execute a memorandum of understanding with with exclusive services for the provision of COVID-19 testing. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Resolution 5399, authorizing the CEO of CMHA, allergy, not CV, little sensitive. So again, resolution authorizing the CEO of CMHA to extend the stay-at-home orders and work from home policies. I didn't mean to time it for this particular, time to sneeze for this particular.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, and the resolution passes. And if there's no other business to come before the board,
Motion to adjourn.
yeah, just once again, and I invite each of you board members to chime in. It seems not just each week, not just each day, not just each hour, but minute by minute, there are new challenges that Greg and staff are dealing with. And it seems right to take a moment to say it doesn't go unnoticed.
Amen.
Agree.
Absolutely. Agree.
All right. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I just
Please.
have one thing. I want to say thank you to the board for the approval of that last amendment. That I think that's huge, and that goes a long ways in saying the board supports the safety and the creativity of making sure that all of the staff is safe as they're doing their day-to-day job. So me personally, I appreciate that, and I know that's something you guys haven't had to look at or view before, but I appreciate that approval as we work towards looking at building a safe work environment for our staff.
Absolutely.
Well said, and noted for its importance. So without any more discussion, any more board comments? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
the chair votes aye. The motion passes. The regular board meeting is adjourned. So
Thank you all very much.
thank you all so much.
Everybody stay safe.
We can do this.